What's up, Jorio here. The Demon Slayer game came out and it's actually pretty fun. Well, when it works. There's some major issues that hold the game back from its full potential, and the most important problem I want to talk about is the online. Demon Slayer's online is not good. I would go as far to say that Demon Slayer's online in 2021 is unacceptable. Look at this.
Oh my god. It's not instant. It's definitely like at least half a second.
And look at this.
I'm playing as my editor. He lives about 10 minutes away from my house. We both have PlayStation 5s that are plugged in via Ethernet. This is the best possible scenario that you can ask for online play. And this is the delay. This is not acceptable.
I wanted to wait to see if there would be a day one patch addressing this, but there was not. We live in the COVID era, when a time where online play is the most important thing to get right in a fighting game. Games are getting pushed back to add a rollback, players are choosing not to play upcoming fighting games without it, and professional players are ridiculing their main games and their companies because of their bad online play.
Any thoughts about how you are going to prepare for that kind of extremely talent-dense tournament again?
Nah, I'm gonna just play Guilty Gear. I'm in Capcom. There's no reason for me to play this game anymore. I don't like the lag, so I'm not gonna force myself to play. I love the game.
Yeah.
The game is amazing, but the online is just not good, and it just tilts me to. I'm sure y'all know. I'm sure everyone sees my tweets all the time. So.
Meanwhile, CyberConnect 2 is stuck in 2011 with delay-based netcode.
I don't know what I expected.
The normal frame delay offline is fine, but apparently they add extra delay to every online match to hide the fact that they did not implement rollback netcode. This inherent frame delay is allegedly 14 frames, which you can see visually here. 14 is playable casually, but competitively it is horrid. It is unplayable. Most importantly, the fact they deliberately made the online worse instead of adding good netcode is questionable at best. If you don't know, frame delay in layman's terms is the amount of frames or milliseconds it takes for the game to read your input and have it happen in the game. Frame delay is extremely important to a fighting game experience at a competitive level. Having 8 frames of delay was a huge controversy when Street Fighter V came out.
PS4 has 8 frames of lag natively outside of playing online, so offline it has roughly 8 frames of lag. Street Fighter on PC has 4 frames of lag, so it's the same as Street Fighter 4. It would have never occurred to me that having an extra 4 frames of lag would make so much of a difference as it does as far as reacting to certain things. Now keep in mind, like Zangief, he gets put into positions in Street Fighter 5 to where he has to constantly react over and over, and I get bodied on PS4, you know?
It pushes things more into prediction rather than reactive-based gameplay because there's less time to react to mix-ups. This means interactions become much more volatile and take agency out of the player's hands. Pro Dragon Ball FighterZ players were switching from PS4 to PC because the PS4 had 3 to 4 more frames than the customized PC version. Globku has a great video on that here.
But how much of a bigger problem is it on PS4 versus the PC? Japan has arguably the best lineup out of the entire championship series, the best players out of all of them, and yet they have the worst games. You have the best defense in the world, Goichi, getting hit by universal overheads and dragon rushes, mashing buttons on block because it's literally impossible to react to your opponent's options. Compared to France's matches, Japan looks like a bunch of scrubs, and it's all because they're on PS4, since Dragon Ball FighterZ on PC doesn't exist in Japan.
This simple difference of 3 to 4 frames is huge. Now imagine if instead of a 3 to 4 frame difference, you had a 7 frame difference. People making their tier lists are already taking input lag into consideration, saying that some characters are better because you can't react to their options as fast as you should be able to.
If input lag wasn't as big a deal in this game, I don't think he would be as bad. I still think he'd be amazing. But would he be as bad? Probably not. Push blocking, trying to go into a heavy or do whatever else, backdash, perfect counter, whatever the case may be, most of that stuff doesn't work with the input lag in the game. So it automatically just makes him super amazing.
It is absurd. And it's worse on PS4 where you have nearly a half a second of delay online. That is unacceptable. This is only compounded by terrible online options. No spectator mode or lobbies to do tournaments, meaning everyone has to stream or record their matches and you can only play with one friend at a time. No way to search for good connections in ranked, meaning you can keep running into bad connections and having to leave constantly. And of course, no replay function. CyberConnect 2 needs to add a rollback. Guilty Gear has rollback so good, people were having mildly playable matches on Wi-Fi fighting in other regions. Bleeding Edge, not even a fighting game, invented its own 4v4 rollback for its own game, and they had a team of less than 25 people and no money. CyberConnect 2 has no excuse for this poor online experience. It was only after a few matches that my friend who also bought the game refunded it because of how bad the online felt, and another friend who was watching the stream who was interested immediately was turned off by the input delay.
You press A and then you jump like a half a second after you press it. Like if the game would have actually had good running online, I probably would have bought it. But after hearing y'all talk about that and seeing that, that's gonna be a hard no.
If you play the game casually, this might not bother you. At the end of the day, people get different things from the game, and I value consistency above all else. This online does not provide that and nearly invalidates competitive play because of it. This is the most important issue to fix. It's doing a disservice to the game because the gameplay is actually quite solid. The characters play mostly the same with small differences here and there. This isn't kill to kill if levels of character variety, but it is slightly more than I was expecting. The combos themselves are satisfying but pretty linear. Everybody will be doing the same combos, no questions asked. Where the problem comes in is with the visibility. There are many moments during the gameplay where you just can't see what your opponent is doing because of effects or your body obscuring the opponent, making you have to guess what they're actually doing. It's clear CyberConnect valued effects over visibility. Another issue that pops up is with certain characters' heavy attack. It's not as consistent as it should be. The entire point of using this attack is to super armor through normal attacks or charge to break guards. But sometimes, because of your opponent's attack angle or the wall, you'll just go completely past them, leaving you open after a successful read. Needless to say, this is infuriating because this mechanic was already solved by Kill If 2 years ago. This happens especially often in corners because of assists moving your character while you're charging. Assist should not move you, you should move assists. You can see in this clip, his assist moves me to the side because we're near a wall. And speaking of assists, some of their mechanics cause a lot of problems. Specifically the one where you get saved from a combo. There are a few situations where you can use this on an opponent who's stuck in an animation and get a free attack on them. Here's me using it to get a free attack on someone who's stuck in a move they can't cancel. The reason that bursts and other fighting games knock you back is specifically to deal with issues like these. Stuff like this happening is not engaging or complex, it's just bad design. And the final problem I have with assists is them spawning in the worst places, causing terrible interactions. You can be into situations where you dash into an assist you could not react to. On top of this, sometimes the assist will just absorb the hit, even if your hitbox goes straight through the enemy. The Ninja Storm series did not have as many of these issues because their assist placement and long windup. This happening isn't skillful, it's random and disorienting. And this brings me to the technical issues the game has. Sometimes your buttons will just stop working.
Bro, I'm clicking X. It will not jump. And it's not my remote because as you can see, it's working. Bro, CyberConnect, fix your game!
Sometimes the game will just crash and sometimes the game just won't launch. Ghost inputs are also a regular problem, and the most ridiculous is the apparent problem where the game will replace your opponent with a computer under certain circumstances.
There's a few things I've learned about this game, however, that make me look at it very side-eyed. There's a problem called off-syncing, to where sometimes you'll be in a match with someone and I guess some lag would happen, that makes it so essentially you're both fighting two different computers, and whoever beats the computer fast gets the W, bro. It happens all the time when I fought a few of my friends yesterday.
If the gameplay problems did not make competitive play hard, this definitely seals the deal. These obviously need to be fixed as soon as possible, but most importantly, the frame delay needs to be addressed. If you were to introduce 9 more frames of delay to Dragon Ball FighterZ PS4 version, any competitive player would immediately switch to another platform. 14 frames is competitively unplayable for any fighting game or reaction-based game in general. I like this game, I really want it to succeed, but I can't support a product that's missing the baseline function of other fighting games. And I can't take a game seriously that is so unresponsive I can't properly use defense. Please fix this game. Thanks for watching, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.